Alright, here we go. Game number 2. I want to see the 2-0. Come on, Hero. Let's do the 2-0. And then I want to see Bisu come back with 2 games, and then Hero win the last game. I think that would be the best. You know, just give those Bisu fans a slimmer of hope. Pretend Bisu's going to reverse 3-2, and then boom! Take all their hope away from them. Alright, looks like... What map is this? Are we in Sniper Ridge? Could be. Looks very much like it. Anyway, Hero is gonna be bottom right. And Bisu will be bottom left. Hero's leading 1-0. This is a best of 5 finals. And let me actually have a look. What is the first place prize? Alright, the first place prize is 6 million won with 2 million won worth of gift vouchers. Which is approximately $5,500 in cash and almost 2K worth of gift vouchers. So it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Second place, by the way, is just under 3K in cash and just under 1K in vouchers. So still pretty good. But really, oh, is this just Fighting Spirit? Am I just an idiot? I didn't know Fighting Spirit was in the map pool. I thought they took it out. That's why I thought it was Sniper Ridge. I assume because we haven't seen Fighting Spirit since like the round of 32, or yeah, since like the group stages. So I just assumed it wasn't in the map pool. Oh well, I guess it's Fighting Spirit then. This is good. I like Fighting Spirit. Pretty legit. You know what? I just realized the live thread probably just has the maps. So I just like look there. Alright, let's see. Apparently after this, there will be Match Point, Circuit Breaker, and then Sniper Ridge. Okay, I see. Yeah, so that's good. Anyway. Oh! Is he gonna block it? Oh, nice little move there, scooting around behind the minerals. Not revealing himself to the probe. It's good, it's pretty good. He went pool first anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Just make some circlings if he gets blocked. But it's good, I like it. And the Overlord Scout is correct, of course, so he's gonna see exactly what's going on here. Kind of an interesting forge placement for Bisu. Oh wait, no, I think if he just does the gateway on the right, touching the cliff, that's actually pretty normal. It's just, I don't know. I usually see like Gosu Saspa paralysis do like other fancy one cannon walls instead of this wall. This is like the newbie IC Cup wall. This is like if you don't really know how to play Protoss, this is like the wall you're supposed to do. It's like on Wikipedia and everything. I mean, it's good. It's tight on both. Like that gap on the left side of the forge, it looks really wide, but that's Zergling tight. So it's the only gap there is between the forge and the gateway, which you can block with one zealot and one probe. It's a pretty good wall. But for whatever reason, I often see Protoss players do like pylon on the right side and then gateway above forge. That kind of like mega wall. It's also pretty good. This wall's okay though. So looks like Hero is taking the third base at the close third there at 3 o'clock, which he does so much. I remember, you know, when I was watching a lot of Snipelaw streams, every time I saw Hero play, he would always take the close third in ZBP, and I'd always be like, why is he doing that? I mean, even though more Zerg players are doing that nowadays, Hero just always does it. He never takes the far third on Fighting Spirit, and it's fine. He still does well. Apparently, Bisu likes this wall. All right. Well, that's good then. I always do this wall because I don't really know how to do the other wall. Well, I know how to do the other wall, but the other wall, like, it lets you do more aggressive zealot shenanigans, and I'm not good at that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so the first zealot's coming out. Probe guy is seeing nothing out of the ordinary. I wonder if Hero might go for fast Hydras again. Getting the close third does generally lend itself better to going for early Hydra pressure compared to getting the far away natural, since, you know, it's just longer for the Hydras to walk from that base. But I don't see a Hydra Den just yet, so I assume he's not getting it. Looks like first zealot is going to just come home as well. scare the Zerg into making a few Zerglings. Note that Bisu still has only made one cannon in this wall. And I believe is getting +1 air weapons from that Cybernetics core. Although in his semi-final match against Quadro, he did do a crazy goon semi-all-in build, which was really effective. But I don't know if he's I don't think he's doing that here. Pretty sure that's just +1. Yeah, that is just +1 for his Corsairs. So yeah, looks like we're gonna have a pretty normal game so far. I do quite like. Well, Corsairs in general nowadays are pretty standard PvZ because if you don't go Corsairs, it's almost impossible to deal with Mutas, given the level of Muta control nowadays. But especially in these positions, you know, the back of Bisu's natural is kind of facing Hero's base. Conversely, there's a lot of space on the left side of Hero's main with no vision, where Bisu could easily drop into, that sort of thing. So, could potentially see some cool play there. In the meantime, just do have a standard wall here at the natural of Hero. The 3 o'clock base, not so easy to wall, but still not that bad. Because if you think about it, even though it's technically got 2 entrances, the main ramp that Bisu would be attacking up is the bottom ramp. The top ramp would require Bisu to go around quite a long ways along the top side, whereas the bottom ramp is kind of near the natural, so Bisu can kind of poke back and forth between the natural and the third. So if Hero kind of just makes a wall, as he is doing with the second hatchery above that 3 o'clock hatchery, and then kind of builds a Sunkens on the top right, so they're walled against the bottom ramp, that actually still is quite effective. In the meantime, Corsair's poking around. Overload speed is actually done already. Actually, I guess that's fine. I guess that's pretty normal, I guess. Sorry, my timings are pretty bad. And I'm not even playing anymore. Like, even when I was actively playing, my timings were pretty bad. But now that I'm completely inactive, it's just even worse. I don't know when anything should be made. But yeah, it is pretty fast. He could be going for some fast drops again. It could be quite cool. Could be pretty good. Somebody actually just said in the chat that the OV speed is fast, so maybe I'm actually not crazy. Hey, maybe I was right. Maybe this is actually faster than it should be. Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, Bisu's gonna see it though. But I don't know. We'll have to see here. Bisu's being very active with the Corsairs as well. He does not want the Overlords to just walk over to his base or anything like that. Gotta be a little bit careful not to run the Corsairs too far. So you know they're off doing their thing at the 3 o'clock while Hero's dropping him. Do have a few more cannons being made at the front. Of course, because the Templars are still a little ways away. Looks like a few Zealots gonna poke around a bit. I don't see Hero doing anything with his OV speed just yet. But well, I guess he would still have to wait a few more seconds for the drop upgrade to finish, or maybe he's just getting harassed by the Corsairs so much they can't do anything. +1 is now done for the Corsairs. Gonna grab a free Overlord. All well and dandy. Looks like there's a Zergling at Bisu's third, just going to prevent that. But that probably won't be taken for a little while here. Note that all these extra cannons are mainly because, you know, when you invest in really fast +1 stairs, you're, you know, cutting back on the ground army a little bit. Templars, a little bit slow. So yeah, just making those for safety. And he did make quite a few though. He made like 5 cannons there. I don't know if you need all 5. Probably just do with 4 cannons. I guess he wants to be safe, doesn't want to lose a game in silly fashion. He's already down 0-1 in the series, so gonna just be a bit careful, maybe try and take to the late game. Of course, Fighting Spirit, basically the most played map nowadays. I'm sure both players are very comfortable going to late game situations on this map. And well, most of the Corsairs are still doing their thing, catching the occasional Overlord. Hero, I assume he skipped Spire because he's not making any Scourge. He's just using the Hydralisks to defend, as well as some Spore Colonies. That could also explain why his Overlord speed was faster as well, because he decided to just skip Spire and just go straight Hydralisks. Ooh! Bit of a poor choice of flight path there, losing a Corsair. And there's one Overlord going into the main. Is that a drop or is that just a scout? He's not going to drop, is he? That doesn't look like a drop to me. No, this is like a fake. He might have tried to scare Bisu into like pulling probes. You occasionally see that, just these like fake drops. Sometimes even Protoss, like, you know, if they go for Reavers or something, and they lose the rebirth, they'll just send the empty shuttle in to try and like bait a worker pull, and it actually does work sometimes. I think I've seen it in Pro League once as well. It's quite funny. Anyway, apparently that cannon is walling something in. It didn't look like it was, but no, I guess it was. I guess it was touching the gateway, so it would have stopped. It would have blocked goons. But we do have some zealots clearing out the third. We do have some Hydras poking in the front. There are High Templar though, so they're not really going to do anything here. Just going to pressure a little bit. Here it does have to be careful though, because of course their stack is still marauding around, so he's got to leave some Hydras at home. And we now have some zealots moving out. Presumably they are +1 speed lots, but I mean, Hero's on top of it. He saw them coming out, so he's going to go intercept. Although it looks like Hero actually misses the intercept slightly, so now the zealots are moving around the top right. Could potentially attack the 3 o'clock from the top side, which would be interesting, but they're going to go check for another base first. They're going to go check for a 4th base. It's really interesting how, you know, both players still staying on 2 base versus 3 base for quite a while now. Bisu looks like he is thinking about taking his 3rd. He does want it fairly quickly, similar, and in the same vein, Hero I think wants his 4th base, like now, considering Bisu's taking his 3rd. Unless he's going to go for a big attack, which I don't see really working, considering Storm's done and everything. Could try some kind of multi-drop. Of course, the Protoss army is a little bit out of position. It's mostly focused at the 3rd base there. Ooh, looks like Scourge not quite in position to intercept this shuttle. It is a slow shuttle, so they could get it. Although he's turning back for whatever reason. He had like an open path to Hero's main. I'm not sure why this this shuttle is actually just turned back. It's a little bit interesting. Anyway, these speedlots actually did very little. Just going to get cornered here at the top right. They have pulled a lot of Hydras out of position, but it doesn't really matter considering Bisu's taking his 3rd, so he's not going to be overly aggressive at the moment. Although he is moving his army out now. I think he's trying to take advantage of the fact that he just pulled like 2.5 control groups of Hydras to the top right using only, you know, 6 or 8 zealots. And he's now moving out with his main army. But again, I'm not sure he's really strong enough to do a big engage. This might be like, I don't know, what does he have in that shuttle? That might be like partially a distraction so he can drop in the main. I don't think he's actually going to attack. He's kind of like goofing off in the middle of the map. Here we go. Here's a drop. What is this, DT drop? DT drop. The Bisu. But look at this Hero with the best anti-harassment defense. Man, that his game against Movie in, I think, did they play in the group stage? He played against Movie at some point, and had like the most amazing harassment defense ever. It was so cool. Like Movie just kept trying to drop him all over the place, and Hero just had such amazing positioning. Look at this. DD just gets 1 kill, and that is it. Really, really nice. Meantime, we finally have some lurkers out now for Hero. Well, I say finally, but he did skip the Spires, so you know he's not going Mutalisk this time. Just going for those beefy lurkers. They are much stronger in straight-up fights. The Mutalisks mainly just for sniping off High Templars and that sort of thing. But if you want, you know, a strong head-on engagement force, you want to get a lot of lurkers. Anyway, so Plosive attack is now done for the Protoss. Flag 4th base for Hero, all that good jazz, both players. This is quite interesting actually how, you know, in both last game and this game, it's been fairly kind of standoffish in the beginning of the game. You know, neither player willing to commit too much because they both know, you know, they're both so good that if either one of them makes even like a small mistake in an early big engagement, it could just kind of snowball into defeat. So they're being like really, really careful here. Even though they've got pretty gigantic armies by this point. I mean, a lot of players, you know, get that many lurkers, just go for it. But he's just kind of chilling outside is natural. Hero seems content maybe to just play a long split map ZVP on Fighting Spirit, which is interesting. Generally, split maps at games, ZVP, are difficult, to say the least. Especially against someone like Bisu, who's fully capable of just harassing you all over the place on all your bases. But I guess Hero's capable of that as well, so could be fine. Anyway, 1-1 is done now for Hero as well. 1-1 against 2-0. Pretty good. We've got the Hive. I don't see any Hive tech yet, though. Yeah. Looks like, oh, Zerg though is going to the top left, wants to deny a 4th Protoss base. Protoss army, I'm looking at the minimap, seems to be kind of just chilling in the middle. He's not sure where to go. Okay, now he's coming back. That is a pretty scary army. That is a lot of Dragoons. Might want to start adding on some Archons though and Reavers because we are heading into late game PvZ where this kind of like the Mass Goon Templar army is very, very strong as a mid game army. But oh, whoa, what is going on over here? But once you get to the late game where you have to like Dark Swarm in particular and you know the Ultra Link switch, the Masked Goon Templar is not going to be quite as effective. Anyway, Bisu's just going to attack here. I don't think this is the best idea. He's got a very big army, but here's going to come in from the back with a few units here. He's also got a very big lurker field. Looks like he was just going to poke in a little bit, see if he could make something happen, realizing there's a little bit too much there and doesn't want to get flanked by the Hydras either, so he's just going to move back. I guess he might be slightly annoyed that the top left base got denied. I'm actually not even sure if he tried to start a base there yet, but of course he is thinking about it, and it looks like a few random zealots going to just run up to the top right. And actually, they are going to get through somehow. 3 random zealots, although there are a couple of Sunkens there, or actually 1 Sunken and 1 Spore. The Sunken's probably... well, actually, I'm not sure if it's enough. But anyway, looks like another big attack here at the top right. This time the lurker field is actually not in position, but if Bisu goes in too far, he knows he'll get flanked by all the lurkers and Hydras from the bottom right. So you can see, very smartly pulled back slightly so he can get a little bit of a better facing against the Zerg army. So instead of getting flanked from the bottom, oh my god, he just brutalizes the Zerg with Storm. That is just, oh, so horrible for Hero. But again, it looks like Bisu is gonna pull back a little bit and not press the issue, and I love this. See, so many Pros players would just be like, oh my god, I killed so many units, let me just go and attack. And sure, they might break through, but they'll eventually lose their entire army trying to bust through into the Zerg base. And army trading in PvZ is almost never worth it. Especially because he presumably used almost all his storms right there. So if he were to continue the attack, he'd be doing it just purely with his units with no storm support, and that is generally going to be very, very poor exchanges for you. So just winning the engagement there, getting a favorable exchange was worth it enough. Looks like, oh, these Cracklings though, trying to deny this Nexus. The Crackling's doing insane damage, but I don't think it'll be enough. There's not quite enough of them there, as imba as Cracklings are, to take that down. So Bisu getting his own 4th base up in response to Hero already having his 4th. Hero presumably is just going to take that top right naturally. He could go for the 6 o'clock, either one. Meanwhile, going to run around with some Lings, try and snipe what units he can. Going to go after the Archons maybe. Nope. Zealot Archon a little bit too strong, so Bisu now moving into the late game composition, adding in more Archons. Ooh, losing this random shuttle though. I'm not sure what was in that. That was used for the DT drop earlier. I don't know if he reloaded it with something else, but clearly wasn't paying attention. And looks like we have another attack here going towards the top right. Man, that is a scary army. He's got like 6 High Templars there, 7 High Templars maybe? I think it's 6. It's a good number. I like that. Not too many. It's just right. And looks like the Defiler Mount is up. I don't see a Defiler just yet, but you can see Hero's actually... oh my god, Hero's buffering! Stop! Okay. Uh-oh, where are the reinforcements? Man, there's a lot of units outside Hero's natural. Why is he not bringing them up? Hero, you've got to support the lurkers. Oh my god, the lurkers have no support. I don't know what happened there. Hero, he's got like 1 million units outside his natural. Has he just gone AFK? Man, what is going on right now? Man, Hero's brain buffered at the same time that the stream buffered, because... okay, actually, these are just mostly Zerglings, but still, he should have been doing something. I don't really know what just happened. Anyway, Bisu now, having cleared out quite a few lurkers is good, but oh man, he's leaving all these Templars trailing in the back. Hero, if he was paying a bit more attention, could have actually grabbed, like, all the High Templar for free right there. Oh man, quite a wasted opportunity for Hero, and Hero now in a little bit of trouble. It's 4 bases against 4, and his army's been slaughtered a couple of times. So he's going to have to make really good use of the Hive Tech. He's going to have to play a little bit defensively, try and just hide behind Dark Swarm and just do some counterattacking. But the top left base looks pretty secure right now, although it looks like he's going for a drop. He's going to go for a drop. He might just have to sacrifice the top right base. No! With Lurkers under Swarm at the top of the ramp, he can actually hold it. He can actually hold this, I think. I don't know what base Bisu is going to attack now. He might attack into the natural, but we do have a drop going in here. This could be quite effective. The Protoss army is on the other side of the map. Here we go, a decent lurker field now. Going to try and stop this. Bisu actually not paying attention, letting the Zealots go in first. They're going to get just completely melted, although the Storms, though, on the clumped lurkers, and actually there's just so many Zealots, even though a lot of them do fall, it doesn't matter. More units coming out of the Nidus, but here we go, the drop in the main base, the Dark Swarms over the gateways. Hero just trying to force these units back, force the army back, but he knows it's probably not going to be enough. Bisu knows that it's not worth going back to defend. He can just defend with the reinforcements. He's just going to force the issue at the natural with his army, superior army. And this is almost certainly going to be game over for Hero here. Even though he's doing some damage in the main base, it's not nearly enough to justify Bisu bringing his army back. And that is basically going to be it. I don't really see how Hero can defend his main and natural anymore. Even though his Lings are actually still alive in the main base here. They actually haven't even killed that many buildings. But, yeah, all the drones are gone. All the Lings are just getting melted as they come in. Although, they've killed a few of these goons. but this is pretty over. He's got some units at the top right. He's got some units. He's not Sonitis though, so they have to walk all the way down now. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, Hero did do an amazing hold against Movie where it looked like he was dead and he just kind of camped his main with Guardians and eventually came back and won. But I mean, this is Bisu we're talking about. You know, he's got the bases, he's got the mechanics. It seems unlikely, and he's also got the right composition here, going Zealot Archon against Emergency Lings. And GG from Hero. Bisu takes game number 2. Another very, very good game there. It's really cool to me. So the style of games that we're seeing here is kind of very different. I mean, if you compare, for example, the games that Larva played against Bisu in the round of 8, they were extremely aggressive, extremely active just from the beginning of the game, which is also very exciting, of course. But they end up being like a lot messier in a way. You know, they have a lot more room for error from both players and just are just very scrappy games. Whereas these games are just kind of, you know, chilling, you know, not being nearly as aggressive in the beginning of the game, kind of massing up their armies, still doing bits of harassment here and there, but much more stable gameplay. It's more like the Larva style of gameplay was like, you know, I know Bisu's better than me, I'm just going to go crazy and just try and kill him with just constant attacking. Whereas here, it's like both players seem to really respect each other. They know that, you know, if you go too aggressive early game and it doesn't work out, you could end up in a pretty bad position. So they're kind of being a little bit more circumspect in their play. So the score is now 1-1. This is good. I like it. I like it. Even score. Here's going to take the next game, though, I believe. Actually, what map is it? Is it Circuit Breaker? It is Circuit Breaker. No, it isn't. It's Match Point. Ha! Just kidding. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I think that map is good for Protoss.
즐기는 것 같아요. 여기 오신 분들도. 그렇습니다. 확실히 이제 선수들이 눈치 싸움을 하는데 그 눈치 싸움이 너무나도 치열하네요. 예. 자, 맞습니다. 조일장 선수 접속했고요. 김태경 선수도 접속했습니다.